Can't get rid of this stupid cough. I'm trying to.
All right, we're live.
Okay, this is the meeting of the Public Utilities Commission, February 15th at 3 p.m. I'd like to call a meeting to order, and the roll call as follows. Charles is present, Bill is present, myself, Mike Roth, and Patrick, and we have our city attorney also available at this meeting today. Do we have a motion to approve the one item on the agenda?
So approve.
I vote yes.
So can I jump in just quick?
Yeah.
So the motion today then is to approve the stipulation for judgment, the easement that we need, as well as the license agreement for the garage encroachment. And then you're authorizing and directing as part of that motion me to sign the stipulation agreement on behalf of the PUC, the PUC to sign both the easement agreement and the license.
And the license? Yeah. So have you, we actually had this at our city council meeting. City council already moved ahead and approved it.
Okay.
But if you need to, if you have any questions about what this is, I mean, Mike knows way more, I mean, he's been involved in it more than I have, but
Yeah.
I think it's self-explanatory as far as
they're
I'm
trying to
concerned.
clean up their title
Yeah.
to their property, from what I understand.
Yep.
And there's a building, a garage,
Right.
and we have utility
Yep.
going through that. And so we had to draft this agreement, the license and the easement for them, with them.
I'm curious why there wasn't an easement before.
Well,
No need to paper it up. I don't know when that line was originally installed. It might have been the 50s.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of properties around all of this county where, like, did they just purchase this recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, when you start seeing these things,
It's because somebody had to go out and survey it, they had to get a legal document, and so
they had to
said,
get
"Oh,
financing or
Well,
something.
I'm not sure why they decided to go through the cleaning of their title. There could be a lot of reasons, but, you know, we're just involved in it because we have this power line.
Right.
We actually went through an effort maybe 15 years ago to try and get easements for all of the Crawford Road properties where this power line exists. And of course, that requires both parties to cooperate in that endeavor, and we got a lot of them, but not all of them. So
Hmm.
here's just one more that we will have.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because the line is there, the easement is sort of like de facto. I mean, it's
Prescriptive is what we would call it.
prescriptive.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
the people who own those properties, even if they're not going to cooperate in getting it written up,
Right. We'll claim it anyway.
yeah, I mean, still, right. So, and that easement prohibits what? In other words, there's a little corridor right underneath the power lines.
Yeah, it's in the easement document. Basically, it just prohibits anything that interferes with our use of it to have a power line.
Yeah.
Goes.
So we, for instance, typically wouldn't allow someone to build a garage underneath the power line.
Right.
But since
Or
the
a
garage
building.
is already there, we don't want to go through the,
Right.
you know, force them to remove it.
Right.
And so, which we will have the option to do with the license we're granting if it's necessary.
Right.
But
So basically, they can't build something within that easement. They can't plant trees. They can't, I don't know what, put up a wind tower.
I'm gonna look and see what we've got here in terms of language about that, Chris.
They can't do anything that would interfere with the PUC's rights to use that property for the electric utility line.
And access it, right?
The grantor
Correct.
shall not erect, construct, or locate in the permanent easement area any new structure or object that was not in existence on the date of the easement, which would prevent the grantee's reasonable access to the easement area or prevent the public's full enjoyment of the rights granted hereunder without the written consent of us.
So you couldn't, for instance, put a fence along your property line that cut across that easement? Just for example.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, and
Yeah.
the garage license, what does that license the people who own the garage to do or not do?
It gives them permission for the encroachment into the PUC's right-of-way. So, there are really only two options when it comes to this. One is you give an agreement that permits them to have the encroachment, or you make them tear the thing down.
Yeah,
And in this case, I guess we've decided, or at least at the staff level, we've decided, you guys can
Yeah.
decide otherwise.
Well, it's been there.
But, you know, that would allow that to happen. Now, you know, if it became an issue where we needed in some way, shape, or form to remove the garage in order to do something which is within our rights to use the utility easement, then the garage could be removed and it would be at their cost to do so. So the risk is on them to have the encroaching garage.
I see. So the license basically says you can keep the garage as long as we remain okay with that and don't need that bit of the easement for some purpose.
Yes, as long as it's not interfering with our purposes, yes.
They realize that we're letting them leave it there.
Yeah.
They can maintain it, I would assume.
They can.
Yes.
Yeah, they can't build anything more in there, you know, because it's, okay.
Right.
It has to stay the way it is.
They can't build a second story on it or
Right.
something. Yeah. Or expand it.
So
Okay.
do you need the motion to include the permanent public easement?
Probably that whole.
Or just the?
The license.
We
Or
need
just the
the
stipulation? of
license.
license
Stipulation,
And-
the license, and the easement.
Yeah,
All right.
all three.
I will move that we approve the stipulation for judgment, the permanent public utility easement, and the, lost my place, license
License.
agreement to use permanent public utility easement, parentheses, garage encroachment, as presented to us.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve
A second?
by Bill and seconded by Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved.
But you don't need any signatures from
No, I think,
us.
I'll need Craig's signatures,
Oh,
but
and
I've got to
then-
get a
okay.
different signature page made up.
Okay,
okay,
Chris is going to sign the stipulation.
Okay.
Craig and I'll sign the license and easement.
okay.
okay.
So I will, I'm gonna email Tyson Smith, who's the legal counsel for the Moshers, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but I will be emailing that to him as soon as I get off the call here. And then there is a court hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30 where this will be presented to the judge, and we will go from there, and it should be pretty routine.
Okay,
Very good. Thank you.
thank you.
Good work.
That's all we got.
Anything else? Okay, I'll make we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, Charles, seconded by Bill.
You actually
Okay.
don't need a second for a different motion.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
It's my kind of meeting. You don't even really need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, why did this
You
get
just walk
pushed to
out.
the, how did